Hey everyone, it's Carissa Wiley at sprinkledwithglitter.com. Thanks for joining me today. Today I am sharing a card project that you could easily make over and over again, and it features brand new products from the Pinkfresh Studio Artful Foundations release that's available today. There is a blog hop happening, so be sure to check my blog for details, and Pinkfresh Studio is giving away this entire release, so you're going to want to make sure you check that out. Now I'm featuring the brand new Petal, Mosaic, Coverplate, and coordinating stencils. This is a beautiful background that you can create in various colors. I love that something like this allows you to create multiples very easily. I'm lining it up on some hammer mill white cardstock, holding it in place with a little bit of satin masking tape, and running it through my Anna Griffin Impress die cut machine to create the background. I decided that die cutting would be easier to do first rather than after I had done my stenciling, and so that's exactly how I approach this. Now, once I have that die cut, I am going to use the corner registration marks along with the die cut pattern on this panel to line up the coordinating stencils. I'm starting with stencil number 1, and I'm kind of using the packaging as reference for what it's going to color. Also, I'm kind of using the same color palette that's on the packaging, which features this beautiful kind of dusty blue. Now, Pinkfresh Studio inks are really bright and happy, and so I decided to go over this ocean breeze with a light layer of Misty Coast to kind of subdue this color just a bit. Now for stencil number 2, I'm starting with Citron ink, this nice bright green ink. Remember, I'm using the packaging as inspiration, and there are no rules against that. So be sure that you look at the packaging for not only color inspiration, but to kind of guide you on what each of these stencils is going to color in and how it's going to look when you're completed with all of your stenciling. Now, after I did a layer of Citron, I came in with a 1/2-inch blending brush and some bay leaf ink to add a little bit of shadow and shading and kind of darken up this ink in certain areas. Now I'm positioning stencil number 3, and once again, I'm going to start out with a lighter color of ink and blend over the entire stencil. I'm using Ballet slipper and a 1-inch blending brush for this first layer of ink. And once I've completed that layer of ink, I'm going to come in with Coral Reef and again, a 1/2-inch blending brush to kind of add some shading and depth to this color. Now I'm finding that kind of adding that lighter base layer keeps me from getting things too dark overall. So by adding that Citron layer first before the bay leaf and the Ballet slipper before the Coral Reef, it kind of helps me keep from making everything a little too dark, but I still end up with kind of that darker color feel in the end. So experiment with blending, even if it's a all over stencil like this, with a couple of different colors to kind of get the look that you want. Now, a background like this is perfect for mass producing because it's something that you can easily create over and over again with just a little bit of white cardstock and some inks that you have in your stash. Once I'm finished with the stenciling, I'm going to roll it off of my grip mat there, and I am going to use one of the sentiments from the new Heartfelt Chapters stamp set and stamp that onto a scrap piece of white paper using some Metropolis ink. Now, I didn't get a great stamping the first time, which is to be expected with a brand new stamp that I didn't bother conditioning, but since I'm using my Misty stamping tool, I just inked it up again and stamped it in the exact same place. And then I used the coordinating die cut to die cut the sentiment. Now, I really felt like the sentiment needed a landing place, so I'm using the dotted postage squares from the Pinkfresh Studio Essentials line, and I'm die cutting a white postage square. It's the second from the smallest. And to add a little bit of metallic detail on the edge, I'm pressing my Versamark ink pad all around the edge of that postage detail, and then I'm going to add some sterling embossing powder from Brutus Monroe. Now, if you are mass producing this, you may not want to do the embossing powder, but to get the same look, you could use a silver metallic ink instead and kind of cut down on the number of steps that you're doing to mass produce this card. I'm heat setting that embossing powder along the edge of that postage stamp, and this is going to really help it keep from blending into that busier background. Now I have grabbed the Fresh Florals die. This also has a coordinating stencil from Pinkfresh Studio, and I love the greenery in this. I'm obsessed with this. You're going to see me use it again here shortly, so don't be surprised when you see it pop up again. But I'm going to use some of the greeneries from that. I die cut them from some white cardstock, and I'm ink blending using some of the same colors that we used for the background. Now, if you are mass producing this card and creating it in multiples, you could instead die cut these elements from some colored cardstock, but I already had my inks out and this was really quick. So I blended the larger leaves with some Citron ink and some bay leaf, and that smaller kind of more twiggy vine, I guess, with some Ocean Breeze and Misty Coast. Now, I did die cut a few additional layers of the sentiment from some plain white cardstock, and I'm using some liquid glue to stack those up. This may be something you want to skip. If you're mass producing, you may want to just pop this on with a little bit of foam adhesive instead, or skip the dimension altogether. It's completely up to you. But now that I have my elements, I can start arranging these and adhering them down, starting with this smaller leaf or greenery, and I'm putting it on the left edge of this postage square. Then I'm adding on my sentiment and this blue kind of greenery. I guess it's bluery along that left edge, and I'm allowing it to kind of overlap my sentiment just a tad bit. Now for this larger greenery, I actually attached it to the back of the postage square using some foam adhesive, and I did trim it in half to kind of get it more into the shape that I wanted it to be. Then I'm going to grab some more foam adhesive and place that over. So we're going to have a couple layers of foam adhesive. Now I decided I didn't really want this card front to go edge to edge on my finished card project, so I trimmed it down 1/4 of an inch on each side, and now I'm using some liquid glue on the back to attach it to a matte silver cardstock layer just to give it a little bit of shine around the edge, and you'll also notice that shine kind of popping through some of the open elements on this background. I'm positioning my little sentiment cluster here in that lower right-hand corner. I'm using my tweezers to keep my hands out of the way. And then I'm going to take this entire panel and pop it onto an A2 size card base made from some pebble cardstock using another layer of foam adhesive. I'm embellishing my card front using some metallic matte silver pearls from Pinkfresh Studio, and I'm using my dual tip embellishment tool along with some liquid glue to position those on my card front, and I even added some into the pattern on the background. So that finishes off my card for today. I think this is perfect for mass producing. You may not want to include all of the steps that I included when you're making this card in multiples, but this simple stenciled background along with that die cut dimension that the die adds is perfect for creating a card over and over again in various custom color palettes. As I mentioned earlier in this video, the new Artful Foundations release from Pinkfresh Studio is available today, and there is a blog hop happening to celebrate this beautiful new release. So be sure to check out my blog post. I'll have that linked in the YouTube description below for more information on that blog hop. In the YouTube description below, as always, you will find links to the products featured in this project, so be sure to check that out if you're looking for anything in particular. As always, I want to say thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this project, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications here so you don't miss any of my paper crafting, card making, and live stream video tutorials. Leave me a comment below. I always love to hear from you. Thanks again for stopping by, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.